A revolutionary. Say whoa. Trap revolutionary. Got the wave of too scary. Doing this thing like Malcolm ain't by any means necessary. We ain't got it by no one seen hand. We got the master plan. Get the movement going on. Right here where we stand, man. We bucking and stumping, fist pumping. Even though they tried to set us up for failure and kill us, we keep on coming. That's why somebody gotta step up and say something about the bullshit. Because if not, the blind gon' keep leading.
Going on, y'all. I want to do this video real quick. Just think about something Willie D said about IShowSpeed, you know, and the other cat, call it White Speed or something like that. He's trying to get sympathy because he said he went to Africa. Like I tried to do like IShowSpeed, but he got rejected. You know what I mean? But IShowSpeed, he's touring Africa, man, and getting a lot of love and stuff like that. It's good to see it, and then a lot of people are, you know, a lot of us over here are, you know, reacting to it in a positive way, you know, and also it's crazy that, you know, you would think that our people kind of understand and know that the mother country, you know, Africa, you know, it's modernized. It's places that are, you know, still somewhat, you know, rural and not developed, but there are a lot of places in Africa that are developed, you know. But of course, you know, which some of our people saying like, hey, they didn't know. America did a good job of propaganda, making us think that, you know, all of Africa was just, you know, just dirt, wildlife, and you know, pretty much just primitive, you know. But anyway, I just, you know, thought about that, and also what Willie D said, you know, in regards to that, you know, showing a lot of love to the brother, you know, and even Godfrey, you know, he was mentioning it as well, like, man, you know, I guess trying to copy, you know, somebody trying to copy IShowSpeed, white guy calling himself, I guess, White Speed, trying to copy. He's like, hey man, go get your own platform, go get your own, you know, go get your own, you know, thing going on, you know, instead of copying somebody trying to be like them, and then when you get rejected, you're looking for a sympathy show, you know, somebody to show you sympathy, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I thought about that. And also, another thing that stood out to me is that Godfrey was saying, hey, man, you getting on here trying to be, you know, gain sympathy, or I don't know if he said, hey, I don't know if this is a skit. You just trying to do this for sympathy reasons, trying to get people to give you some type of grace or whatever, or to like your video. He like, hey man, look, he know that social media is a popularity contest. You know what I'm saying? People getting on here doing some of everything to try to go viral, you know, try to get some type of stream, you know, people, or some type of even, you know, sponsorship deal or whatever it may be. You know what I'm saying? Because I know a lot of people, that's what they're getting on, trying to get money off social media, you know. You know, and that's kind of how, you know, I just think about it, like, man, you know, regardless of the fact, hey, you got to get on here and be real with yourself, be true to yourself, you know, regardless. If you're a comedian, get on here and be a comedian. Not because you think you're going to get a bag and you just, you know, you chasing money, you know, or get on here and act a fool, you know, somebody this is not really who you are. Just to try to, you know, you're seeking money, you know what I'm saying? Get on here, man, and give good content. Give good content, you know, speak your mind, you know, and be true to who you are and what you're trying to do, you know. You know, I know for me, you know, I want to get on here and, you know, speak my mind, but also this is kind of like a segue into you know, what I do like in music, you know what I'm saying? Like letting people know, hey, here's something coming up, here's some music I'm working on or whatever, or just speaking my mind on you know, today's topics. You know, so, and I just think it's good just get on here and be able to express yourself, and whatever it may be, you know, speak your mind, you know, speak to the people or your fan base, people that, you know, that support you and like what you're doing, you know. So I would say that, you know, and it's just, you know, something you just got to make an effort towards doing, you know. It's you know, even my homeboy, you know, I talked to him, And like he's rapped on like, he's saying like, hey man, I'm gonna be doing videos every day, and it's good. That's what you really need to do, getting on here, because you continue to put videos out, and you basically continue to keep yourself relevant, in the algorithm, or whatever, YouTube algorithm, or whatever platform you may be on. But I would say, like, man, commit to doing once a week. Then if you can do it every day, do it every day, but at least commit to that. And then if you can be consistent with that, do 2. Then continue to gradually just get better at it, continue to do videos and provide content, be able to speak your mind, and let people know, what you got going on, and what you doing, so I would say that, like, hey, get on here and provide, useful content, and speak your mind, express yourself to people, man, and, provide whatever like I said, whatever your thing is, whatever your craft is, whatever, I would say get better at that, and, just continue to move forward, like with me, I've been grinding, man, like trying to, launch this healthy food food truck concept, which I did at the gyms and stuff like that. So I've been grinding with that like all week. Been pretty much like taking out work, going to meetings, man, going to see people, going to like get advice from people, trying to just set this thing up, because I believe in it, and I think it's it can do well. It has done well. The first week, we did some pretty good numbers. I spent some money trying to get it started, but then we did some good numbers at the gym, serving a healthy menu. So, it's a concept that I know will work. It's just a matter of, with food trucks, you got to get paperwork. You got to get permits and all that, situation. So now I know it worked. Now it's just all about me getting permits, because, I'm in Cedar Hill, and Cedar Hill, they want you to have permits, like I got Dallas County. My truck is permitted through Dallas County. But the city of Cedar Hill, they want you to have an additional permit with them. So I'm working on getting that, and that's kind of been a headache, but it just is what it is. You just got to keep on working. You just got to get through it. So like I said, I've been going to meetings, just meeting people, and just trying to get it going, and keep it going, in a positive way. Matter of fact, I end up meeting the brother Hawatha Williams, the owner of Williams Chicken, the other day, and a lot of more instrumental people. The brother, Damon, he owns Sankofa restaurant. He had a business mixer, and a lot of big name brothers, brothers in Dallas, where that entrepreneurs and business men were there. Even Senator Royce West was there. Mark Cooks, Bank of Frost Bank. Robert Petrie, the man, right hand man, Tim. Tim is Mr. Williams' right hand man. Helps him like find land and leases for the Williams Chicken. Another brother, Eric Collins. But just a number of brothers, man. Just good people, brothers and sisters that I end up meeting. At that mixer, we all, actually trying to see about, how we can work together, as businessmen and women, and, as black businessmen and women, and try to bring that I guess, specific, Pacific group and Pacific, category, I guess you want to say, ethnic group, and in the sense of business movement, business progress, and togetherness in a forward manner, or I guess a evolving manner, something that businessmen and women can get together. Black businessmen and women get together, use each other, help each other move forward on a continuing basis, and move forward and get those businesses to thrive, as a group, to use each other as a group, and to work with each other, you know. So we all, you know, kind of talked about it, you know what I'm saying, and got together and, you know, kind of exchanged contacts and stuff like that. So I think that's very instrumental, and it's good the brother, like I said, Damon, got pretty much everybody together. You know, he was like, man, this is some, you know, how we need to really do, because you have, you know, which we know most time when it comes to black business owners, we're not given a good amount of money to work with, you know, from banking institutions. So his thought was like, let's get together and pool our money together. You know what I'm saying? And get together and move forward on that level. You know, so I think it's a good idea, you know, and meeting with people and getting some insight. You know, I think that was really good. And I think we can, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, to me, it's like, you know, like Transformers, you know, all us, the best of what you do, maybe in, like one brother was there with AI, you know what I'm saying? One brother there, you know, he does social media. Another lady does marketing, you know. And then some of us, like myself, you know, we got a service business, like food service businesses, you know, and, you know, also real estate, you know. So we could get together and help each other, you know, and service each other, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, and as a group in that particular, you know, category or sphere, you know, move something together, you know, come together. Like I said, it's like the Transformers, you know, you do this well, you do that well. Boom, we come together and form that particular, you know, like structure or that particular being, you know, or entity, or, you know, the Transformers are like one big bot, you know, one big bot, but they moving in, you know, in unison, you know, and getting things done, you know, they powering up, you know, to where, you know, they pretty much become an unstoppable force. So that, in that sense, I would say, man, it you know, being able to do that, we can move some things, you know. So, you know, I'm glad I did attend like I said, attend that business mixer. I think it was some, you know, valuable things said, and I probably add in the video probably a clip of the brother Mr. Williams, Hawatha Williams of Williams Chickens, you know, some things he said some pretty important things, you know, just in short things, you know what I'm saying? Even like specifically like having a good partner, you know, like a wife, which supported him, you know, and being able to have somebody that understands the plan, you know. And also like outworking, like, hey, they're like, hey man, one thing, you know, you may be smarter than me, you know, you may have, you know-how into certain things. He said, you can't outwork me. He's one thing he said, hey, you're not going to outwork me. So I was even taking that advice. Like, yeah, man, you know, in business, you're going to have to put some work in. You're going to have to work. And, you know, that's like a superpower. You know, somebody like, hey, you're trying to do something, make something move. You know, you might have to just straight up get in, go hard and grind and outwork the competition. This is what it is, you know. So
money, so it's real common for me to work a 16-hour day. That's my life. But the problem, Eric, if you're married, you lose your wife. So if you don't have the right woman, then you're going to have an issue with that. So my wife gave me permission to do that. She had 2 boys that we were homeschooling. That freed me up. If she was not involved with the boys, I don't know if I could have done it. But Tosca, she's the one that gets me the exposure that I need, because I don't want to be here with you. I don't feel comfortable doing this. Most of you here know more about what we're talking about than I do. I'm telling you, I just cook chicken. I know how to do that. But that's about it, Mr. Peter. I'm not the genius that some people think that I am. But one thing I can do, I will outwork you. That's right. I will invest the time. And I took the time early on to figure out how many hours are in a week. Anybody know? How many hours are in a week? It's 168.
So, but anyway, yeah, I just want to get on here and say that, you know what I'm saying, provide, you know, brief video. little insight, into, also, what I've been doing and, like I said, trying to get this healthy food truck concept off the ground and move it forward, because I'm thinking like, hey, I can have food trucks, like I said, just not only here, in Dallas, eventually start around on Metroplex, and then, around the state, then possibly the nation, you know what I'm saying? Because I think it could be big. People like literally coming out the gym, getting a healthy, bite to eat or, smoothie, whatever. So, but anyway, let me get up out here. I just want to say that, to those out there that are trying to, like I said, with the YouTube, just said, going back to that, man, if you try to do, YouTube, just get on here and provide some, healthy insight. You ain't got to copy nobody or get on here and be no fool or, try to be somebody else, man, to get attention. You know what I'm saying? Cause like the brother said, hey, Willie D and like I said, Godfrey said, hey, man, it's a popularity contest. Everybody trying to go viral. Everybody just doing anything to try to go viral. Hey, man, it ain't necessarily about going, yeah, you want to go viral because you want to get known. You know what I'm saying? You may get monetized and all that, but hey, provide some value, man, to somebody, whether it may be advice, business, knowledge. Like I said, you're a comedian, even that, making somebody laugh, is value, you know what I'm saying? So, get on here, man, you know what I'm saying? Do your best with it, put your best foot forward and, just provide some value, you know what I'm saying, to people, so, I would say that, it may be a popularity contest, man, but hey, man, don't get on here, man, not in being a fool. You know what I'm saying? Just being, you just saying anything, doing anything, you know what I'm saying? Just to try to, go viral or whatever, man. You know what I'm saying? Be yourself, man. Like for real. Be yourself, be true to who you are, and provide some value to people. Some of the people that, they can glean from, knowledge, get a little knowledge from, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Or, insight or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Just, and, a little wisdom from, and they can, it may, like I said, uplift them, provide, word of encouragement, whatever. They can gain some encouragement from and, and help them in their life, But anyway, I'm gonna get up out here. I just want to say that, YouTube and all these other platforms, it's like a popularity contest, but hey, man, you get on here, be who you are, be true to who you, yourself and who you really are, you'll win. You know what I'm saying? Because authenticity wins every time. People rather you be yourself and who you truly are than being who you really not, and they know it. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody don't like nobody that's fraud. You faking and, around here, you know what I'm saying? You're not really being who you really are. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I just want to get on here and say that. And, I hope y'all out there doing good. People out there, man, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, hit me up sometime, you know what I'm saying? I'm around, hit me up, text me, you got my number, whatever, or, like drop a comment or whatever in the comment section, if you, seeing my videos, whatever. But, till next time, hey, man, hope y'all out there doing good. Living life full of love, happiness, you know what I'm saying? Y'all doing well, y'all doing great. Till next one, y'all. All right, y'all, love y'all.
Fuck it, go ahead and blow off the dough. Step through the maze, man, and became amazing. About to rewrite history and change a page in a crooked book that never told us the true story. Like how we were kings and queens before the slave story, before the killing, stealing, and drug dealing on some real shit. We ran the world.